There's a star man running down the right. His name is Pedro Neto and he's eating dynamite.
I love me, baby, bust it open, bring it back. I'm the realest killer in it, I don't even need an act. Throwing up the racks, I'm just throwing up the racks.
Oh, Premier League has returned. Our lives are complete. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy. Avec moi, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well. Genuinely, wholeheartedly do hope that. Because you guys, my viewers, are all part of a family. Yeah. Welcome back to Chelsea News, daily series here where I reflect on what's been said about Chelsea, as always, and especially lately. Okay, there's a lot. Ben Jacobs doing a little bit more on Joao Felix. We're not going to do Osimhen today, or at least this morning. Of course, stories break throughout the day, and I react to articles here. Should an Osimhen piece of, notable news comes out, I will, of course, hopefully be the first here to react to you guys. That's my aim. There's of course, the talks about Ben Chilwell, Enzo Maresca's comments on him essentially saying, yeah, you better get out of here, mate, which is sad, possibly true. We're going to talk about that. And indeed, guys, we are going to look at his X-Value page of the Champions League winning season. Now, that might be a little bit romantic and nostalgic, and I'm not making a case for him to stay at Chelsea. I just feel like it's important and it's fun to use this platform. Heck, I've heavily invested in it. Let's have a bit of fun. And Di Marzio, of course, reputable Italian journalist, spoken about the Sterling and Chiesa swap, which you must say is very, very interesting indeed. So yeah, it's going to be good, it's going to be fun, and hopefully a little bit scintillating. So strap yourselves in. Thank you for liking and subscribing if you do choose to subscribe. Only if you want to, hit the bell notifications icon so you can get updated as and when we go. Yeah? Bremen's back. That's lovely stuff, isn't it? A little bit cagey in Fulham versus Manchester United as a non-Man United fan. A little bit frustrating that Fulham couldn't finish their dinner and opportunities. It was pretty late last night and I was tired, but I'm going to react to Premier League and high-profile blockbuster games on the second channel. Down there, see, Football Yannick. Easy to find on YouTube. You just search Football Yannick and you can get this beautiful mug. Talking non-Chelsea, should that be something that interests you. But we are talking Chelsea today. We are going to reference a post on X from Ben Jacobs. He, of course, was reiterating certain things about the Conor Gallagher deal, with Simeone calling him up personally to reassure him that he remains a priority as a signing. And then he goes to update us further, saying this. God, I've just had a shower. I went for a run. I've had a shower. And now my glasses is steaming up because my face is hot. Can you see this, bro? It's just unhelpful. And it's weird, isn't it? Let's just read without my glasses. Chelsea and Atletico Madrid have held discussions on several occasions this week, often late into the night. Positive talks. And Felix has agreed on the move to Chelsea. Chelsea want to pay a similar... excuse me. Chelsea want to play. They want to play. They want to pay a similar ballpark to the Samu Amoradian deal, fee, or the agreed fee, which was 45 million euros. As we've spoken before, that's about, what, 40 million quid? 40 million quid? How much is 45 euros into pounds? It's 38.3 million pounds. Again, I think I've said that in recent videos. If you sign Joao Felix for 38 million pounds and he's lowering his salary extensively, that can only be regarded as an excellent deal. To the point where, yeah, I don't think that Felix is a necessary acquisition for Chelsea, but when it's too good to turn down. Alright, so we're going to speak about Enzo Maresca's comments in a moment about Chilwell and the ramifications, and like I said, look at his stats. But let's look at this story that was published last night in Italian media by Gianluca Di Marzio, who of course covers the likes of Juventus meticulously and closely, and is lots of people cite and reference his work, so I guess we are to take it seriously. But he suggests, and again, caveat, disclaimer, this is a translated Italian article, so if there is any broken English or peculiar English, you must forgive. Well, you don't have to forgive me, it's just the way it is. The Chelsea Juventus axis has reignited. Hold on one second. Sorry, just had to sneeze there. So the Chelsea Juventus axis has reignited after an attempted swap between Federico Chiesa and Raheem Sterling, initiated by the two clubs, which did not come to fruition. Despite this, the Blues could return for Chiesa separately, but everything will depend on the sale of the Englishman. Right, I am not overly excited at the prospect of signing Chiesa. I'm simply not. He's sort of known in footballing world media that's not Italian, that he's like this moments guy, right? For Fiorentina, maybe a little bit for Juventus, certainly for the Italian national team. Like, he's been that guy. His numbers aren't good. If this story picks up, we'll X-value him and look at him a little bit closer, like profiling, and see if there's anything that could excite us about this potential signing. I mean, a lot of people are understandably down on Raheem Sterling. And if you think, oh, we can just swap players and pay less wages, hopefully, to Chiesa, then a lot of people will be down on that. I'm guessing Chiesa is younger than Sterling. Sterling is 29. Chiesa is 26. So he's 3 years younger. So he is, yeah. I mean, he's still above that 25 threshold we like to have. But, you know. He doesn't excite me. I don't have any reason for me to believe Federico Chiesa is going to come into the Premier League and just be really productive. I just, you know, I don't think that personally. And like, I'm not saying I'd necessarily rather keep Sterling, but at least, like, you know, Sterling's this known quantity. If Sterling was on 180k a week, like Moises Caicedo, I'd probably be like, just keep Sterling. You know, but the fact he's on nearly double that, it is it's a problem. Yesterday, the 15th of August, so this was published last night, referencing the day before, Juventus and Chelsea spoke about a swap that would involve Chiesa and Sterling. Both clubs explored the feasibility of the operation, but the deal immediately stalled due to differences in player valuations and salaries. Yeah. Salaries, I get. The economic evaluations of the two clubs and the wage demands of the players represent the main obstacles. However, Chelsea could return to focus on Chiesa, but only if they can first find a solution for Sterling, who could leave the club either to Juventus or a different destination, excuse me. Chiesa's future therefore remains uncertain. If the Blues manage to unblock the Sterling situation, the interest in the Italian winger could materialise in a separate transfer. The next few weeks will be crucial. Look, man, Sterling gets way too much disrespect. We did look at his stats here in X-Value a few videos ago. Surprisingly positive. And, like, you know, that great season at Man City, he was just, like, elite. Like, you know, I think, isn't he the highest scoring Premier League winger of all time, maybe? I don't know. He's very, very... Like, look, Sterling has the capacity to be very good. And he's still in his 20s. That's not me saying, oh, we should keep him and pay 325k. If we can sell him, fine. I'm totally down with that. I'll sign off on it right now. But I do think he's disrespected. And I do think he's very good. And I do think as well, Juventus would be a good destination for him. That you know, it's a massive club, Juve. I know they're not like relentlessly winning like they did when you know, Conte was originally there, and Allegri obviously took that over, and that was like a sort of long-term dynasty of winning. But they're still a massive club that will, like, you know, challenge, and that would be quite a cool move for Sterling. He would have been one of those FIFA players, like played for Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Juventus. Like, it's a pretty storied career. But obviously it's wages. I do think Juve do pay quite significant wages, but not necessarily like what he's being paid now. He's gonna, if he leaves Chelsea, he'll get a pay cut. It would just sit. There's just no other way about it. Look, I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I think I know how a lot of people feel about Sterling, which is fine. But what do you think about Chiesa? Because for me, like, I'd just be like, you know, just don't. I would be like, don't bother. If he turns up, if he's good, wicked, you know. But right now, I'm just not too keen on it. Right now, I'm starting. If I had to start a really important game tomorrow and everyone was fit and trained, start Neto on the left and Cole Palmer on the right. You know, and Kunku and maybe Dewsbury Hall in the number 8s. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe even like Enzo Fernandez. But you know, which means, you know, I don't want to bulk our squad up with a Federico Chiesa. Let me know what you think on that. Comment down below. Right, so Enzo Maresca has dropped a bomb with the Ben Chilwell situation. He says it's probably better if Ben Chilwell leaves to get minutes. He says this: with Chile, it's quite clear, even though I love the way he is, and he is a great guy. The problem is that he's struggling to find the right position with us. This is the reason he didn't play against Inter last week. This morning we had 22 players in training, and if you ask me, all of them, they want to play against Man City on Sunday, but that's impossible. He's saying they do all want to play. When you train every day and don't get minutes, it's not good for them or for me. I need to make a decision. Probably it's better for him to leave and go get minutes. The transfer window is open, so we will see what will happen. That is huge, bro. Like, that is huge. Chelsea's acting vice captain, which of course, if he's gone, he's not going to be vice captain. It will probably be Enzo Fernandez. It will be Reece James, captain, Enzo Fernandez, vice captain. That's what I think, personally. I mean, look, even if it's true, some people will criticize this, going, even if it's true, he shouldn't be saying that. Some people will praise him, saying, look, yeah, just be real. Let's just get this to where we need to be. I love Ben Chilwell, right? I do love him, but I do agree with what he's saying. I'm just wondering if he should have said it. In terms of his profile, we know how the fullbacks play on either side. Excuse me, for Maresca, they either invert into midfield or they tuck in to make it back free. No one's flying forward. Ooh. And let's look at Ben Chilwell on X value here. As you can see, Chile, 20... It's saying he's 24, which is completely untrue. How Ben Chilwell, how old are you? Oh no, it's saying he's 24, sorry, when the season that I'm analysing here, which of course was the Premier League winning season. He's 27 now. He turns 28 in December the 21st. Second oldest player in the squad, and he's still not that old. He's in his prime. Well, if Lukaku goes, of course. So look, let's take a look at this, guys. He is a wide creator predominantly, and then he's a wide controller. So this is his profiling here. What are the key things here? Wide. Look at his friggin' heat map. That is not a fullback that's tucking in for a back three or inverting into the midfield. It's the opposite. They're literally flying up and down the flank like a conventional wingback, like a conventional fullback. As you can see here, he's a very, very balanced player in terms of his performance chart. He's a very well-rounded player, maybe not so much with recoveries because he's a little bit more of an attacking fullback than a defensive one. And again, we're going to look at his stats and trend here. We're going to look for that season for reference. The polar chart doesn't look that impressive, actually. Interceptions, meh. Expected threat is a little bit more. And, of course, his non-penalty XG is the highest. He was very much a goal scorer, wasn't he? To be honest, actually, looking at these stats now, they are not that impressive. Let's have a look at later seasons. He gets better in the passes into the final third in Tuchel's second season. And then he gets really good at tackles. Why is he, like, changing his strengths? Every year he's doing something different. And, of course, last season he didn't really play. But there you go, and his expected assists go really high. It's almost like every season he's deciding to do something else better. But, yeah, I mean, his chance creation's high, 94th percentile. Progression, yeah, to be honest, looking at this kind of makes me feel like, you know, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense anyway because of profiling. I'm just going to look at Marc Cucurella quickly, who we know is a ideal player. Look at his little hair here before he goes long hair. So, yeah, last season, this is him. As you can see, he was tucking in a little bit and inverting. He's way more reserved than Ben Chilwell. Also very balanced, more defensive though, you'd have to say. It says he's a wide controller from last season, but I guess a wide controller as in you control the opposition. The player's primary tasks are to consolidate possession, progress the ball forward, and provide defensive coverage. I think more of a reserved, pragmatic thing. Do you know what I mean? Let's quickly look at his stats from last season, because obviously it was a strong last season. Here we go. Pass percentage, very, very strong. And he's still good with interceptions, good with carries. So this is kind of like, I mean, it's nothing in attack. He's in the 38th percentile for attack. He's in the 49th percentile for chance creation. So comparatively, he's just not attacking at all. I mean, even progression's bad. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so everything that helps you score goals and wins, it's not good. But this is what you're looking at here. Can you see it? Even that's not great. 70th percentile. Counter pressing actions, 90th. That's very, very good. But to be honest, we know why we like him. He's positionally intelligent for, obviously, Pochettino going into the midfield, but for Enzo Maresca. And to be honest, like, we don't know. Like, even he might not be the starting left back for Maresca in 18 months. Do you know what I mean? He just might not be. It could be a Renato Vega, who Chelsea really like profile-wise, who's like a proper midfielder but can play at left back, so they might see that as more applicable. It could be a new player entirely if they sell. You know, you would not be surprised if this Chelsea ownership sell high-profile players like Cucurella. It wouldn't surprise anyone. But the ultimate point here is looking at those heat maps and those shapes and those profiling. Yeah, there's no chance Chile's going to play left back for Enzo Maresca. They probably did look at him a little bit as a winger. Obviously, you can't look at him as a midfielder. There's just no way. And he just doesn't have what he wants as a left-footed winger, so he will probably go, which is a shame because he was so good in the Champions League run in Europe. He was so good in the final against Man City. Excuse me. He's a great lad, which does mean for something. And despite all of that, I kind of get it. I think I'd see him go to Manchester United, especially in the absence of like Luke Shaw, because he's a proper up and down like fullback, and they'd pay his wages. Yeah, I could see him going to Manchester United. What do you think? Comment down below. I'll be very keen to learn your thoughts, feelings, emotions, musings, etc. Your dreams. Let me know what you think of these stories. Of course, keep it locked. I'll update you on all developments as they come. And yeah, see you in a bit, hopefully. Peace.